In this video, we're going to create custom formulas in our Google Sheet spreadsheet. Google already obviously has a ton of formulas available. So if we, for instance, want to get the first name out of a full name, we used in a prior video the array formula, the proper formula, and the regular extract formula all in the same function. What we can do as well is write our custom function. So for instance, we can write a function named first name that does this automatically. So then we don't have to remember those 3 steps the next time we want to extract the first name. And we can just write first name from A1 and it gets us the first name. So we can use the script editor to do exactly that. So let's have a look into how we can do that. So again, let's go into our script editor. Just loading and create a new file. Script, and let's call this file first name. It will automatically put the .gs extension there. So the function, the name of the function will be what we'll be typing into our spreadsheet. So if we call this first name, then in here we will be typing equals first name. And then the variable that we put in here, input, will be the cell reference. So if we, for instance, refer here to cell B1, or B2 in this case, B2 will be the input variable. So in this case, the function will not work. We'll get an unknown function first name. So we still have to define this function. If we save this, it should now change from an unknown function to some sort of error. So it is loading the data, and it should then result into an error. Equals first name. B2, let's see what happens. Loading, and then nothing happens. So just blank. That's because nothing is happening here. So what we would like to do is take the input, so B2, and take the first part of the string and then capitalize the first letter. So to do that, let's define a variable for name equals Ruben Ports. So let's just take my name and then use a logger.log function to see if this is working. So with logger.log we can in our console see what is happening. So when we execute the script by hitting play, it's then outputting Ruben Ports. So that's great. So it's taking this variable and outputting it there. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to split that name. So var name dot split by space, and then return name. Okay, let's see what happens. It's the same thing. Okay, so it's now splitting the name, the first name and last name, in an array in which it's splitting it by the space. So that's okay. What we then want to do is we want to say name is name.split, but we then want to take the first one. So name equals name 0. All right, so it now should output just Ruben. Perfect. So then what we want to do is to capitalize the first letter. So name equals name dot char at 0 dot capitalize I think it's like this plus name dot slice 1. Save and run. So undefined Ruben. So undefined, there's something wrong with the capitalize function. So let's see. Let's have a Google. JavaScript capitalize. So instead of capitalize, the function is actually to lowercase or to uppercase. So let's do that. Save and run. Function to uppercase native. Just need to put on parentheses. Let's run again. Okay, so now we have the final output as Ruben. So what we want to do is get rid of this input as the var name, and we would want to change this to the name, and instead of logger.log we want to return the name. So we call this function first name with cell B2. We go through all these steps, and then in the end we return the name, which should be the first name. So if we save this, we then have defined this custom function first name that we can use anywhere in our spreadsheet. So for instance, we can use it in here. So I already typed it in here, first name B2, and we'll then take the full name and change it into the first name. So if we copy paste this down, it will for all these different full names get your first name. So let's see if they load. Perfect. So that works very nicely. So this is an example of a custom function creating first name that we can now use going forward in this particular spreadsheet. So that should be very handy for you. If you have any custom request of custom functions that you want to write down, or you're getting stuck with any debugging, just let me know, and I hope I can help you out, or at least I can guide you to some documentation and take it from there. So do let me know what you're trying to work on and see if we can help you out with defining custom functions. And if this is already a piece of cake for you, then I hope to see you in the next video where we take this to the next level. See you there.